Welcome all to the February 2021 edition of the C64 Round Up, your concise guide to the latest events in the current Commodore 64 scene. This month's feature game is Attack of the PETSCII Robots by David Murray. The objective of the game is straightforward. Robots have taken over human settlements across a number of planets, and it's up to you to infiltrate and destroy all the robots. To do this, however, will require a bit of strategy, and your first task will be to case out the game environment and search everything to locate weapons, health kits and pass cards. The weaker hoverbots can be taken out by using basic pistol weapon, or alternatively a well-placed time bomb will sort them out. The rollerbots are a lot more aggressive and powerful. They will require a bit more thought and stronger weapons, such as EMPs and plasma guns, to finish them off. Just take care to stay out of the explosion range when using a plasma gun. The evil bots are, well, just evil. If you get in close range of these without preparing beforehand, then you better run for your life, as these bots will home straight in on you, with a couple of hits being enough to finish you off. While evil bots can be finished off with some clever placement of explosive canisters, ideally you will be looking to trick the evil bots into the trash compactor to see them off. Once you kill off all the robots on the planet, you can finish the game map by locating the final transporter. There are 9 different game maps on offer with the same objective and features, but requiring different approaches to destroying all the bots, providing multiple hours of total gameplay. But note that there is no built-in save or checkpoint system on offer, so if you do die, then you need to restart the game map from the beginning and do everything all over again. PETSCII robots cannot be played with your traditional joystick due to the number of different functions required, such as searching, using and moving items, along with cycling through items and directional firing, and as such you'll be reliant on keyboard controls unless you purchase the physical edition of the game, which comes with a user port adapter that will allow you to play with a Super Nintendo compatible controller. PETSCII Robots has 3 graphic modes. In addition to the enhanced graphics modes featured in this video, the game can also be played in Color PETSCII mode and PET mode. Attack of the PETSCII Robots has a unique look and feel to it when compared to the current day games. There is an underlying feel that harks back to the early to mid 80s, which does have some nostalgic charm about it. David's primary objective for the game was for it to be fun, and to a large extent I think he has succeeded in delivering this. Now let's take a little time to appreciate some of the latest pixel art. There's been quite a bit of game news about, so let's highlight some of the more notable ones. Rushing Pixels has been busy working away on their single-screen multiplayer shooter, War 2-1. The premise behind the game is simple. Go around the maze layout collecting gadgets while killing enemy aliens along the way. Once you've collected the requisite number of gadgets, head to the exit and move on to the next level. The game features both single and multiplayer gameplay, 30 levels, 3 difficulty settings, 3 boss fights, and will be both PAL and NTSC compatible. In addition, there will be comic strips to unlock, which I assume will be covering the backstory to the game in some way, and an online high score capability so you can show off your gaming skills to the whole world. My understanding is that War 2-1 has only just gone into the testing stage. Pate has the social media scene all in flutters with his great looking car racing project for the C64, My Day on the Highway. The actual gameplay on offer looks to be simple, and it'll be interesting to see what Pate can do to make the game feel something more than a technical demo. But it's hard not to be impressed with the speed of the game and the vibrant colour scheme that makes us double check to actually confirm that this is running on a C64. and we can already see that PETSCII has spent some time working on implementing new colour schemes. No doubt many will be looking out for this game when it's completed. Marv Hardy is back experimenting on a new game project, and this time it's Zombie Island, a run and gun style of game. What has been shown here looks quite good, and I like the inclusion of 6 directional points of firing your weapon. Will this be the first game that Marv sees through to some form of a fully fledged game rather than just producing a single level demo? Time will only tell. Okay, here's something a little different for the C64. Adrian Kurek is looking to port across the modern day puzzle game Gravity Duck to the Commodore 64. Gravity Duck is a game that requires you to flip, dodge, traverse, mind-bending gravity puzzles in order to collect all the eggs. Adrian is looking to use a single screen approach with Gravity Duck 64 that utilises high-res graphics and multi-layered multiplex sprites for each character in the game. The development team of Pirates of Zanzibar, featuring the coding skills of Antonio Savona, have almost completed work on their upcoming title, Monstro Giganto. This is a fighting style game featuring impressive looking large monsters drawn using PETSCII graphics. Single player and 2-player gameplay will be on offer, and it's expected that the game will soon become available via RGCD. Monty Boyd is looking to follow up his debut release of Monster Catcher with a top-down single-screen racing game titled Muddy Races. The early progress on the game looks quite promising. I look forward to seeing the additional tracks and obstacles added to the game. Sarah Jane Avery has turned her attention back to the Briley Witch Chronicles project, an old-school Final Fantasy-style RPG set in the theme and narrative of Sarah's own authored books, The Briley Witch Chronicles. Sarah has been providing quite regular updates on the project via her Twitter feed, and has recently started to show more of the battle dynamics within the game. The game has all the hallmarks of a great 8-bit style RPG game that is sure to immerse you for hours upon hours, if you're a fan of the genre. And it'll be interesting to see what Sarah comes up with to make the game accessible to the broader gaming community. Briley Witch Chronicles still has a substantial amount of balance loading and game testing to be done, but all looks on track for the game to be released in the first half of 2021 via Protovision. Let's check out some recent demos released on the scene. We'll finish off this episode by taking a look at a couple of new release titles. Soul Force by Sarah Jane Avery was finally released by Protovision in the final hours of 2020. And in excess of 400 C64 gamers have spent their January enjoying every moment of this high-quality horizontal shooter. IGN showcased Soul Force in its own video back in November, which is why it's not this roundup's featured game. The game has received broad critical acclaim with its great blasting action spread out across 20 levels each, with its own distinct theme and boss battles. With wonderful parallax scrolling, plenty of enemy variation and well-balanced difficulty setting, it is no wonder Soul Force has been so well received. The game is underpinned by a story narrative that plays out well-presented cutscenes and contains beautifully drawn bitmaps before each level, which elevates Soul Force heads and shoulders above any other shooter released on the C64 in over 30 years. If you haven't done so already, then you can head on over to Protovision to secure your copy, whether it be as a digital download or as a physical cartridge. Carlton Hanley and Saul Cross have teamed together to provide a new run-and-gun game called Runn'n'Gunn. You take control of two super soldiers sent on a mission to wipe out an alien threat in a distant galaxy before they set their eyes on Earth. Each soldier has their own super strength, and by holding the joystick down, you're able to switch between the two soldiers, with Gunn in green uniform having a small jump range but a more powerful weapon, compared to Run's weaker weapon but double jump ability. So setting off on our objective, it's time to blast the alien scum, and you'll find yourself constantly switching between the two soldiers in order to progress through the game. As you head on down to the underground caverns, you'll find your path blocked by laser gates, and you have to locate access cards that can be used on nearby computers to remove the gates. As you get further into the game, it becomes obvious that Runn'n'Gunn is probably more about evasion and jumping rather than all-out shooting. And if this does not make things challenging enough, just wait until you get to the stronger aliens who are chasing you down, all while trying to pull off tricky timing jumps. And talking about jumps, by default the game sets the joystick button as jump and pushing up to fire. Well, I may be from the land down under, but that doesn't mean that is how I like my game controls to be like. So I'm grateful that the game allows you to switch controls to the standard up to jump and button to fire. I did find the game to be quite difficult, even on the normal setting, though this is balanced out by the game offering continues after you lose all your lives. Overall, the game is coded and presented very well. Controls feel quite fluid, and the graphics and sound are both high quality. The current iteration of Runn'n'Gunn contains just one episode, and as such, the end-to-end gameplay is less than 15 minutes long. If demand for Runn'n'Gunn is commercially viable, then Carlton plans on adding 2 more episodes and a number of other features as part of a larger physical release. In the meantime, you can download Runn'n'Gunn from Carlton's itch.io page. I hope you enjoyed this month's C64 Roundup. There is certainly plenty to look forward to during 2021. Thank you so much to viewers who have provided IGN with a financial tip. It goes a long way to keep the channel afloat. Until next time, bye for now.